how we meet today. Things go fine one day. I said single better one day. The man without the man. Saloma, yeah, we gon' live in happiness. No place like home. Just now we motherland. Now we for China, for build this land. Oh, I just feel say now we no more for make ya. I just feel say now we no more for make ya. Let we live by that and Congo sa. Let we pull we and pandemic. When the world's alone. Salon, now we continue. Now we for try for build this continue. It no matter how we be today. Things go fine one day. I said things go better one day. Lion Mountain.
Sierra Leone today is a credible country simply because of the president's efforts to fight corruption, to make sure that investors who come to spend their dollar monies here will be protected and secure. The fight against corruption is very clear.
The continued commitment from the president and his government are key because there's a difference between rhetoric and action. What we are seeing in Sierra Leone, and I say this as the one leading the fight against corruption, is the shift from rhetoric to complete action and sustained over a period of time going to 2 years. So that has sent the right message within the population, that has sent the right message globally, and there is a significant reason to believe that we are on a path for transformation as a country.
There's an anti-corruption division, and the way I have set it up is that you have like 2 full-time judges. They sit on a daily basis on these anti-corruption matters, 2 of the new judges. So there's a separate independent registry. I see that the government is serious on the issue of corruption. So we sort of want to give an independent identification to the Anti-Corruption Commission.
I am serious about leadership in this country. I want us to catch up with the rest of the world and lead. Corruption fights back when you fight it, but like I've always said, and I will say again, it is a fight we must fight because it is existential, and it is a fight we must win if we should make progress.
16 months, 5 days. One of the greatest successes of this government is the Human Capital Development Program His Excellency has launched, focusing on free quality education. Today in Sierra Leone, 2 million children are going to school without paying school fees.
Education is very important to us because it is one of the key in our own life. Without education, life is lifeless.
With the introduction of these core books into schools, this has also helped in the area of mathematics and English, where we had series of problems with people in that field.
They have access to exercise books, writing materials, and on top of that, part of the country, they have now school feeding program.
When this school feeding program don't come inside, believe me, they tell you pick against they go school. As do clean 9 first they go, and okay, waiting they happen behind and the host, but they have open lunch, so it go there.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, followers of TGM, the Green Movement. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, provided the location you find yourself. Today, I have a special guest here in my house, a young guy who we all admire a lot, a guy who have stood up to join the ACC boss, Ben Kefala, in the fight against corruptions. And today we have the privilege, he's here on this platform. But before going further, I would like to introduce the young man, ELISON John, who happens to be the boss, managing director for Zero Corruption Campaign, ACC. Welcome to the program, CEO.
Yeah, Sadima, thank you. I also thank you for bringing me on the platform, and I thank all Sierra that are joining us in this fight, and these are great fights. And I want to thank you for bringing me on the platform.
Thank you very much. I'm also privileged to have you here. Now, how is everything? How is Salon? How is everything?
For me, I think we are in Sierra Leone. I think things are going well. Although there are so many challenges, if we talk about the economic hardship, which we are not only experiencing, but they are experiencing it all over the world. And there is food price skyrocketing, not only in Sierra Leone, but all over the world. But despite all these challenges, and I think we are still moving as a nation and together, and we are still moving in peace.
Oh, that's good. That is the most important thing, I believe. We as a Sierra Leonean, we are not there, but we are also monitoring the situation that is happening there, that is going on there. So I'm happy and also privileged to have you here on this platform today. Now,
Thank you.
We have seen a lot of things that from the previous years. You joined Ben Kefala to fight against corruptions. And how is it about the corruption in Sierra Leone? How do you feel as a young man that you are there and also fighting against the fight? You know, you had took this battle to fight against corruptions. And how is it? How do you feel like as a young man? Because it's not easy to really find these days to see a young guy fighting against corruption. Of course, we see Ben Kefala, but for you, you are very young. But however, will you introduce yourself to the audience, the public, Sierra Leonean, to know who you are, then before we get into business proper?
First of all, to my fellow Sierra Leoneans, I'm ELISON John. I'm the founder and executive director for Zero Corruption Campaign, a civil society organization that stands to see the fight against corruption become one of the best in Sierra Leone. And I'm very young. I'm inspired not only by Ben Kefala, but I'm inspired by my nation, because since I was brought up as a kid, I've been seeing this virus called corruptions in our society, and everybody know corruption is a cankerworm, and if we don't fight it, it will eat the fabric of our nation. So, like a young man like me, when I was in secondary school, in fact, that was my days. I started inspiring to join the fight against corruption. In 2015, me and another guys that we are very young come together during our secondary school days to say we don't need to sit down. We need to create a platform where we can advocate about the fight against corruption, because we are seeing things are going bad. And we all see during the time, the Ebola, you see how many people misappropriate a lot of funds. And before that time, people were misappropriating funds, and we don't see any of those people going to the book of the ACC. And we sit down and say, but this is not the right way things should go. I think we should come together and fight this fight. And we cannot just sit down in our corner, in our little corner, fighting corruption, in our opinion. I think we need to create a platform where we can help the ICC to fight this fight. In 2015, we create this platform. We work. In 2016, we work. 2017 and 2018, when Commissioner Ben Kefala come to office, because all this while in 2015, we write to the commission for them to partner with us, but they did not take our partnership. They rejected our partnership, and When Commissioner Francis Bekevela came into office in 2018, we write in an official letter that we want to join the fight against corruption, and he accepted us with a goodwill. And not only us, we have so many civil society organizations in Sierra Leone that are now partner to the Anti-Corruption Commission in the fight against corruption. So we go for the inaugural training. I think latest last year we go for inaugural training as partners in the fight against corruption. We are all over the place. We fight corruption in the education sector. But as for us, we are civil society organization. We don't have the right to arrest, the right to prosecute. But if we see anywhere that corruption is going, we need to report to the ACC, and we also need to make it known to the ACC that that particular institution is corrupt, or people are there in that institution that are corrupt. So we go for the partnership training, and later we take the public education sector by going to sensitize people about corruption, bringing awareness to people, bringing state authorities accountable. If I know you are corrupt, I think sometimes I even go to the radio stations or go to the television station, or either write to the Anti-Corruption Commissioner personally that that particular institution, we are not pleased with them, and the way we are seeing them is not pleased with we. So we have been doing this all this while, up to 4 years now, and we are moving. And I want to thank the commissioner for giving us that platform.
Oh, that's good. That is brilliant. Good to hear, because Ben Kefala, we admire him. We know also the story that when in 2005 we had in 2005 we have Valentin Colley, who happens to be the ACC boss, and he was removed, and then independent body come in. Then from there in 2006 to 2007 we have Harry Joko Smart. He held that position. Then later on he was sacked. Then he was replaced by Abdul Tijan Kaur, and also he was there. But during all these periods, we knew that there was many lapses in the fight against corruption, of course, until things happened when Ben Kefala took office. But however, Sierra Leonean, if you are watching this program, this is the Green Movement, TGM TV. We are hosting executive director, which happens to be the CEO for Zero Corruption Campaign, is here, and we are going to highlight some key issues we believe that is matter and relevant to our country, Sierra Leone, because since we know our country, the fight against corruption was very, very poor, but because of His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, he appointed a young guy, Ben Kefala, to execute all the perpetrators, all these political, sorry for the language, but political criminals, because to fight against corruption, to capture them and bring them to book. But then since Ben Kefala took office 2018, we have seen a lot of drastic changes. So I'm really happy we are on here today on this topic. But however, I would like to refer to you guys in 2018, the statement of President Julius Madabio after he appointed Ben Kefala as a commissioner.
Fellow citizens, in Sierra Leone, those who indulge in corruption see it as a source of wealth, a source of privilege, and a route to or a demonstration of power that they often abuse. Much more worrying is that across the country, political leaders and ordinary citizens engage in corruption shamelessly and with arrogance and impunity. Corruption in all its forms has a cost. It has real human victims when critical infrastructure like hospitals and schools are not built, and when citizens are denied their rights and equitable access to service delivery. Credible foreign and local investors whose investments create good paying jobs for citizens avoid corrupt countries. Corruption also stores economic development, compromises ethical conduct and national values, and violates the fundamental rights of citizens. Above all, corruption undermines democratic institutions of government and the stability of a country. For the foregoing reasons, Corruption is a national security threat. During the election campaign, I strongly advocated that we fight and fight relentlessly against corruption. Immediately after winning the presidency, I kept my promise to the people of this country by setting up a governance transition team to review the governance landscape we are taking over. Their report identified serious deficiencies in governance, financial management, and accountability. They advised thorough forensic audits and the setting up of an independent commission of inquiry. The legislature has now ratified the setting up of an independent commission of inquiry that will work thoroughly, independently, and transparently. As president, I also appointed a new, young, and vibrant leadership at the Anti-Corruption Commission, who has injected new energy, increased public confidence, and restored faith in the Anti-Corruption Commission. Therefore, it is refreshing that this year, Sierra Leone has passed the Control of Corruption indicator in the Millennium Challenge Corporation scorecard, scoring 71%. We have moved 22% upwards, moving from 49% last year. This is the country's highest score in the Control of Corruption indicator since the introduction of the MCC scorecard in 2004. If we are to develop as a nation, we must draw a line under the perverse, arrogant, and reckless looting of the state. Corruption is a fight we must win. It is a fight we will win.
You just hear the president's speech. That was in 2018. Any comment on President Bio's statement?
Yeah, I'm coming in break. Yeah, hello. Yeah. I want to first of all thank the president for giving that particular will, because I think the fight against corruption has to do with political will. And I think for this government, since they come into office, I'm not supporting them, or I'm not saying they have made progress, significant progress, or they have already end corruption, but they have that political will. And with the political will, I'm seeing Ben Kefala going everywhere to see he succeeded in the fight against corruption. And first of all, I just want to congratulate the president and also thank him for giving that particular platform, because it has to do the platform first. Give the political will, inject the political will into the system, then the person can have that will to fight. Though there are challenges, because in human, no one is perfect, no perfection in humanity. But there are a lot of progress and under the leadership of Ben Kefala. So for that, I want to thank the president for giving that particular will. Coming to the speech itself, it's very good. You know, though there are challenges, because in the fight against corruption, you cannot say I want to finish. You don't finish corruption, but they end it, or you minimize the fight against, you minimize corruption. So as for me, as a crusader and also a civil society activist that stands to fight corruption, I want to thank the president, and I think he still has that will, and I want him to continue to give that support to Ben Kefala in fighting this enemy in our nation.
Oh, thank you very much, John. Sierra Leonean viewers, this is John ELISON, the CEO for Zero Corruption Campaign, and he happens to be here today, and we are articulating on the fight against corruption and some of the things he has done. Well, John, before I give you the main question, I know everybody is waiting to start for, waiting to hear something. You as a CEO, what have you done since becoming a CEO or founding your organization to fight against corruption? What have you done?
Mr. Wim, I think through my works, you guys have been following me, but I've done a lot, and I will continue to do more. And I've been in schools. I've been in communities where I talk to people about corruption. I've been leading public education campaign, even with the ACC. They have been leading public education single-handedly with my organization to schools, because we know when it comes to exams, every year the Anti-Corruption Commission, now the West Africa Examination Council,
For Sierra Leonean viewers, please bear in mind the network in Sierra Leone is very poor, and he's trying his best. I believe we have lost him, but we'll get him back. Now, hello, John. John. Okay. I'm sorry we lost John, but we'll get him back. We'll get him right back. But then, as we are moving forward, today, for me specifically, a part of John, what I'm trying to say here is, and I will also bring it into our local language for the audience, for others to understand what we mean here. What we mean here today, John, now in the fight against corruption, it help also to fight against corruption, a partner with the ACC. And we don't be the monitor, the Green Movement don't monitor John in movement what they do, where they go to them various schools and especially places then we say for them more practices like that not happen. We don't see several occasions where on the training, in the move, they do in campaign. But we count on here today because we see a young man a deeper fight against corruption. And I believe President Tok Ndubio, one of a fundamental principle under a manifesto a promise Sierra Leone is the fight against corruption. If we remember, just like how I be talk, this fight against corruption we don't start for a long time. We are in Tijankaba days, we been get somebody, other people than we be before even by 2004, 2005, we been get people that they fight against corruption, but say it not be actually serious. Then later on, Tijankaba also create a platform to fight against corruption, where the corruption at that time they work very hard to make sure all them one then when they don't eat government money cover for them they with them to book until Anes by Kruma kind of power. When Anes by Kruma kind of power, NSFC he want take this journey here, this fight to fight against corruption to make sure the perpetrators then the one that with the chief government money, government copper for them they hold account of it. But we see where they appoint this guy where they call Henry John Smith, when they be appointed within that time they to 2006, 2007, instead they dismiss and they remove him. They will give they call somebody who call Abdul Tijan Cole instead will not be serious. So remember, all this is not about politics, it's about the reality, what we see, what happens. Today is not politics, it's about how we nation will go up and the fight against corruption. Salomon, then when you tell them the truth, then they say now politics. Because of politics make we country not go before. Now, after Abdul Tijan Cole, then from there appoint they just they change this one, put this one day. Till at the end of the day, the one today where you see where they fight the one that will be corrupt doing Anes by Kruma in days, where one of them happens to be the anti-commissioner boss, but today end up become a advocate where they defend the one that will be chief saloon copper money according to evidences then where they on ground. Now until then, Ben Kefala came in power 2018, President Bill say in a mission not to fight against corruption, to make sure corruption let it not be fashionable na saloon anymore. Because what be happened before? Corruption was very fashionable. People they be believe in corruption. We they see broad daylight corruption, nothing not they happen. Until today we have a good a leader, and also we're serious to fight against corruption. If you listen to what the President be talk, he say we take the corruption rate will meet it be there at 41%. But then what can happen? Because of the it be serious to fight against corruption, from 41%, it jumped up the way to 75% within 1 year, a period. And we all see them, and that is the fact. That make we qualify for MCC award. Where we go, we win the MCC award. Now, not only that, the second year we jump from in the 70s, we go into the 80s. To third years, we jump again, we are going into the 90s. Like what he jump, they try for say, they say they don't try to say this government, of course, everything is 100% corrupt. There is challenges. But if I listen well, you said listen well, if we compare the BO administration and the EBK administration, would have been really serious, or would have really serious to fight against corruption is the BO administration, because we are in, you see, in the EBK administration, you see beaucoup things that be happen. You know, we see government officials that they eat money, that they say nothing, they commodity, you know. Even now, we your administration, we don't see, the only thing we see more is allegation, and we don't see, say, other places that where corruption don't enter. We see the ACC boss, they go fight against corruption to make sure the perpetrators or the one that were involved, to bring them to the law and hand over them to for due process. We don't see that. Now, we there inside 85%. Now we are heading to 90%. Now we don't see also inside this fight against corruption, other nations and where they don't depend solely and highly depend on we country right now, where they want land from how we fight against corruption. That is the fact. But then how we feel as a Sierra Leonean and what are we on challenges them, what we get, and how situation is happening. Now, based on this, we don't decide to get in touch with a young man, with a hardworking guy who would admire inside the fight against corruption. Because we can always say, they say them bad and corrupt. But one of the key concepts where derive we, what is say in one of his speech, is say, we've built a foundation. We are in the young man then from the youth where you small, let you be corrupt free. Because if you don't begin learn corruption before you go up, at the end of the day, what you go become? You go become IMP. You know. So as a young man like John Ellickson, they fight against corruption in his own way. We really admire that. And unfortunately, we don't lose him, but we are the wait up to run, so we able come back on this platform here, so we able continue with what he talk now. You know, he's a young guy. Okay, I get him.
I'm here.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I just really try for talk inside with local language for the audience then to understand, and I also try to bring them down for people to understand this fight against corruption. Well, we don't get John, we get for continue with the process, but like what you really try for say, the fight against corruption not to today. If you don't start for long, but to see a government where really serious for business. This is the administration we have seen hit the BO administration took the corruption index from 41% to now we are in 85% and we are heading to the 90, which is an A+. And others, neighboring country or other African country also admire Sierra Leone right now in the fight against corruption. And that's why some of us, when we see a young man like you as a CEO, and you have taken this battle to make sure we have zero corruption in our nation. So I'm really happy you did back here on you are here on the program. You did So
I'm sorry. Let me just put it in my local dialect. I want to say sorry to people. I get a technical hit when I just know we can't go the the network problem and other things. But like what happen we do this here in Creole because we get for very professional. when they talk about the fight against corruption, not when you get forget foreign people they will come and listen them. When they talk about corruption, you get for people get for listening them when those Sierra them. But when I want for say sorry for anybody who like feel inconvenience. As times ago we put inside Creole. So I'm back CEO, and I think the internet issue was a problem, and I'm back, and we can continue. Thanks very much.
Okay, that's good. Happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. Now, where were we? Now, where were we? It's simple. Without wasting target, when you were not here, I was talking about the history and the reason why we brought you here on this platform, because we admire you. We have seen you have done a lot as a young man. And one of my last statement I made here was that we'll hear from you, one of your speech, that you want to encourage the younger ones to be corruption free. Because before when we say corruption, we think it's only the elders, in our language, big man them. So we try to eradicate and build a foundation for a young one, to pave on that foundation to grow. Wherein when you are young, from 5, 6, 7, before you reach to 20, when you don't have to. When for example, when you go to the market, you see fish is for $10. That would say 10 leons, and then that 10 leons. You buy the fish for 10 leons. When you return home, then you say it's 20. You bought it for 20 leons. Let's assume. Yeah, that is corruption, right? That is corruption. So
in procurement, we call it
yeah.
breach of procurement and procedures in our offices, because some people will go and procure for something like it's going for 100 million, and when he's back, that person is back, he will say it's 200 million, and we want to see where they say value for money. Perhaps you maintenance the whole structure like for 200 million, and later you come in and say it's for 500 million. There the procurement procedures come, and there the anti-corruption commission again come with audit service scheduling to audit your place, with no fear and favor. That's the way things work. We want to see value for money. See, you can go ahead.
No, thank you very much. Well, followers. Now, John, I have a question here for you.
Yeah.
What is your take about the fight against corruption in Sierra Leone under the leadership of Ben Kefala?
First of all, I want to say I want to be just in this one. I want to say it without fear or favor. I want to say it for country and for me. First of all, let me clear one here. Here, I'm a civil society organization. I'm here talking on behalf of the state and on behalf of myself and the people of Sierra Leone. Under the leadership of Ben Kefala, I can say there have been a lot of progress, significant progress. Not only we as Sierra Leoneans, we just think when they say the fight against corruption, it's gonna be like when Ben Kefala is fighting corruption, everything will be easy for everybody, things will be easier. Yes, because this is our expectation. We put our leaders, in authorities because we want to see Sierra Leone better. But for example, if you want to see Sierra Leone a better place, things we have been suffering in the hands of corrupt authorities since independence. And if Ben Kefala is here, I think this is just his 4 years in office. And we think just within that 4 years and 61-year-old problem will be solved. No, the question is no. That is why we as civil society, some people ask why you don't bash at the anti-corruption commissioner, the authorities. I say no. The anti-corruption commissioner is doing a lot of progress, and he's doing his own best because he's a human being. The fight against corruption, for that matter, let me say, the fight against corruption is very risky. It's a very risky job. Even your friends, those you call your friends, will become your enemy. Even the government that appoints you in that position will take you as one of their enemies, because you go after them, you go after the opposition. Even the opposition will think you are hunting them. Other Sierra Leoneans, other citizens, those who think they want to engage into corruption, we see you as an enemy. But in this case, under the leadership of Ben Kefala, as a civil society organization, I've been following the work of Ben Kefala. He has indicted so many authorities, people in higher places. He has indicted people in the oppositions, which they think in that size, they will think he's hunting them. And also the government, people in the government also will take him as enemy. They will think he's fighting them. And he has indicted ordinary Sierra Leoneans. We have seen where Benkefala extract, take money from those who steals donor money. He has been going after those who are not well-meaning Sierra Leoneans, who want to see Sierra Leone in the day. And he has done a lot. And all this progress, as I'm saying, Benkefala has made, comes to the data. You know, we don't, in corruption fighting, we don't just fight corruption with opinion or mere accuse. We talk about data in the fight against corruption. And when we talk about the data, the MCC scorecard will tell you clearly that Benkefala is fighting corruption in Sierra Leone. The Transparency International Index will clearly tell you that the fight against corruption under the leadership of Benkefala is going well. He's not 100% correct, and I don't want to say here that he has done 100%, but he's doing his own space, or in his own domain. He's doing what is necessary and what is best for we the Sierra Leoneans to see the eradication of corruption in Sierra Leone. And for me, CEO, I want to tell you clearly that the fight against corruption under the leadership of Benkefala is moving, and as a civil society organization sitting here, and the civil society activist sitting here, I want to clearly tell the people of Sierra Leone, and also this platform, that the commissioner, I'm not talking about the government because I don't want people to judge me from that end, but the commissioner, which this particular government appoints, I want to give applause to the government. He's really taking the move, the bold steps. Not only me, he has called upon all other organizations to partner with the anti-corruption so we can hold them accountable. In that regard, in fact, I want to give him a kudos, and I also give this government a kudos for that. So under the leadership of Benkefala, if you can ask me any question about it, he's trying his best to see the eradication of corruption in Sierra Leone.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now, Sierra Leoneans, I'm happy to hear that. But before going further, I would like to show you a video of Benkefala. Then from there, we take it from there.
We are at a point in our lives where the Anti-Corruption Commission and the people of Sierra Leone have taken the fight against corruption to its highest point. From public education to prevention to investigation to prosecution and conviction, the data and statistics are startling. In fact, it is mind-blowing. Out of 42 cases that we have taken to court, we have only lost 2. That is over 90% conviction rate. In the indexes, we are at our highest peak. In Transparency International, we are jumping 12 places in 2-3 years. Okay, we are at our highest point. We are scoring the highest score in Transparency International scorecard. In the MCC scorecard, we were at 49% when I became commissioner. We jumped to 71% in 2018. We jumped to 79% in 2019. We jumped to 81% in 2020. We are sitting at an excellent position. No country in the world has experienced such galloping increase in its fortunes in the fight against corruption as we have in Sierra Leone. So the capital from the fight against corruption, when people look at Sierra Leone these days, what do they know Sierra Leone for? It's about the successes of the fight against corruption.
That was from Benkefala. Very brilliant speech. Any comment on that?
I think all the speech, all the interview from Benkefala, I think was very significant and was so clear that he's talking about the same data I was talking about. In the fight against corruption, we don't read what people, the perception of people. We take the opinion of people. I don't want to get misinformed to that stage. We take the opinion of people, but not like personal opinion. Opinion like you think this person is corrupt. We don't fight corruption by opinion. We fight corruption by what we see physical. we fight corruption by physical looks. We don't fight corruption by your opinion. What
So
they
you
think.
mean that? So you actually means that without saying it, or without circumstantial evidence, without evidence, so there is no proof, because we find ourselves in a country wherein someone, because they don't like you, they dislike you, they can say, oh, this person have in fact, native man, he have stolen, he's a criminal, he's a this, he's a those things, you know. So you are trying to say without the data, without evidence, it means that we shouldn't utter short statement. Is what you are trying to say?
Yeah. If you say, for instance, if I say Dima, the CEO of Green Movement, and which that particular platform is supported or funded by government, is corrupt, I think I need to bring evidence. I need to bring data. I need to bring proof that Dima is absolutely corrupt. And I want to clear something here. People are saying the Anti-Corruption Commission don't jail people, don't hold people accountable. If they even go to court and lose their case sometime. I want to clearly state here that Anti-Corruption Commission don't have that power to jail anybody, because it's only the court of law. Because if they take it to the court of law, they send their lawyers and they set their tribunal against you, and they lost the case. I think directly, I think there is no evidence against you that you are corrupt. So it's not anti-corruption that is losing those cases, but the court of law. And before this, I think before the start of this program, I saw the Chief Justice saying he has set up a court that look into anti-corruption matter. And I want, through that view, I want every Sierra Leonean to know that anti-corruption is not deciding on his own cases, but the court of justice. We can only hold anti-corruption accountable for losing cases if we ask the Parliament of Sierra Leone to give them that power, that utmost power, to look into their own case, to prosecute, and to jail people who are corrupt. So the same data I was talking about, let me come to the data. The same data I was talking about is the same data and the commissioner is talking about now. We have jumped so many indexes. If you go to the MCC, because of the fight against corruption, now we'll be having that particular benefits from the MCC. They'll be giving us water, road, electricity, because of the fight against corruption. And the American government is very serious, not only the American government, but the UN, are very serious. Transparency International Index, these are all independent body, like how you are seeing the ZZC. They cannot just see you as a nation because you are fine, or because your government is so and so. They give you that acronym.
Okay.
They only give you the praise you deserve. So when it's talk about the data, we are really doing well in the data. So I think for that, and that statement is correct.
That is good. That is clear. I believe for the audience and all those that give misleading information, I believe you have make it clear. And for myself, I've understood the iota of issue or what you are talking about. Now, I have a question here for you. What progress we have made as a nation under President Bio in the fight against corruption?
I think for me, first of all, the progress President Bio, I'm not saying he's perfect. Also, I want to clearly state my justification here. He's not perfect, but if I could give any applaud to President Bio, I want to applaud President Bio for not only being the president of Sierra Leone that has opened that hands to Ben Kefala, but I want to applaud President Bio for appointing a young, dynamic, and a focused leading person. He's not perfect. No matter how you look at it, in humanity, not everybody will support your score. But there are some people, if they are like-minded people, they'll commend you, they'll applaud you. But I want to applaud President Bio for appointing a dynamic and energetic young man that is ready, that has stance, and that is still ready, still having that energy to fight corruption, and that has called upon us to partner with the commission. And I sitting here, I've never worked for any government, and I'm not planning to work for government, but I'm planning to talk for my people, and I've planned to take this lead, to see our people smile. I'm not doing this for government. I'm not doing this for anybody. I'm not doing this for my personal gains, but I'm doing it for country and for myself and for my generation yet unborn. So under the leadership of President Bio, in fact, we have won the MCC score, and we have won the Transparency International Index. We have seen the indictment of so many sitting officials. We have seen the indictment of people that are in the opposition. I don't want to go far from that. We have seen indictments of people that are corrupt and they are in the system. We have seen President Bill giving that time, giving that support to Benkefala to indict them and prosecute them in the court of law. So for that, I want to applaud the president, and we are making progress. And I'm calling on the president to continue giving that support, to continue giving that hope to Benkefala, so we can make more progress as a nation. We are progressing, and it's 4 years since Benkefala came into the office, but we need more from the president, and we need more from the government to see the progress we want to see as a nation.
What is your relationship between ACC, your organization, and ACC? What is
my relationship?
Zero corruption campaign and ACC.
My organization and the Anti-Corruption Commission have been working in adjacent. We are working close, and we are partner organizations, and they have been opening. There have been an open door policy between me and the commission, the organization and the commissions, and they are ready to listen to any of my submissions. They are ready to take up any of the programs that they see it is the progress making moves. They are ready to support, though, and I'm calling on the government again to support the commission, because the commission is also struggling with financial support. Sometimes when we ask them for their support for us to take some moves, they say we are just living in some mere budgets, I think 800 million, something like that. But that money is too small for the commission to be working, because they have so many partners, not only the ZCC, they have so many partners, there are so many big institutions that are partners in the fight against corruption, which they need to sponsor, not only the ZCC. But for me, my organizations have the open door policy with the Anti-Corruption Commission, and the commission is also ready. And the public education department is also ready to open the door for us to talk about corruption, to report anywhere we see corruption, and to take moves that can eradicate corruption in Sierra Leone. They are ready, and we are in partnership with the commission, and we continue to partner with the commission until we see a tremendous effort and success made in the fight against corruption in Sierra Leone.
Yeah, that is actually brilliant and good to hear. I'm to be honest, I'm obliged. I'm happy to hear, as a young, vibrant, guy like you, have stood up to fight against corruption, and which, of course, we know the reason why many African countries don't grow is because of our leaders are corrupt. Yeah, corrupt, very, very corrupt. Normally we call them IMP. They are racketeers. I believe when our country is corrupt free, I believe our nation will really grow to the stage, to the higher peak, where I believe, which will be beneficial to everyone in our nation. But however, I have a little question here for you. In this fight against corruption, how do you assess the government of President Bill after 4 years in office in the fight against corruption and his support?
Thank you, Mr. Dima. And I think, as I was saying, I want to applaud the president again for giving that dynamic and hardworking and waking up commissioner to the Anti-Corruption Commission. And I admire him. I take him as a mentor. I've been always around him to sometimes say, Commissioner, I think we need to take this move. And sometimes he listens. He's a listening person. That is why I said he's a dynamic and energetic guy that is always ready. He has an open door policy. If I go to the commissioner, I go to ACC and I say, I want to see commissioner, he will give me that open door policy and to talk to him and to give him my own submission. And sometimes we say, no, ELISON, we don't want to take this area and we want to take this area. And this area is not for the partners, but this area is for the commission. We will take this area, we'll take this area. And he's always ready. His door is always open to people that come to the commission to report corruption. Yeah. And the fight against corruption under the leadership of President Bill in 4 years have been a progress and a challenging one. Why do I say progress and a challenging one? In any society, no matter, even your children at home, not all of them will behave well as you expect them to behave. Yeah. The government or the presidents have been very strict to see that the fight against corruption be one of the best. But there have been some officials that have been indicted by the ACC. That's why I said it has been a challenging one. So if the president is telling them not to go into the co-op aspect and they go there, I think the ACC has to indict them. So if the ACC is indicting them, so I would think there's some challenges. And these challenges have sometimes been addressed by the commission and have been addressed by the commission. I don't want to say sometime, because if they have evidence against anybody that is in this government and they think is corrupt, I think the commission will indict that person. We have been seeing that flyers all over the place. The press releases have been going all over the place. And I want to thank the public education department. They have been informing the public. And that department has been a very vibrant department under the leadership of Binkefala, the public education department, head by the director of public education, Patrice Sandy. And they have been very strategic when it comes to the information sharing, when it comes to the public education guys. So I want to thank them for that. So when I come to the progress, after the challenges, when I come to the progress, the government has made progress by winning the MCC score, Transparency International Index, by pushing the commission, giving the commission the support, changing some ratification in parliament. And I want to also thank the parliament of Sierra Leone for giving more support, to the commission, for giving more power to the commission for them to operate. And I'm calling to, on the Parliament of Sierra Leone to give that support and to continue to give that support to the commission so they can work well. But under this government, and they are just 4 years in office. If I could lament, they have done their best in the fight against corruption, though there are challenges. But we expect more from them as time goes, until they are 5 years in office before I will judge them. Yeah, because the president has always been calling on us to judge him, not at the beginning, but at the ending. But for me,
Yes.
as this started the journey, and this 4 years now, and the 5 years is coming very soon, I want to say there have been a significant progress in the fight against corruption, and I'm expecting them to do more.
Sorry to say, Mr.
Yeah.
John, I hear you.
Yes,
You keep on saying that there is some challenges. What are some of these challenges? Can you name few?
Yeah, because if for me, I've been with the grassroots, and when they say civil society organization, I've not been in any office or networking. I just have my own office where I can sit down and make my data, release a press release, and also take a drive to go to the field and talk about corruption. And what have been these challenges? There are a lot of people either in the government or the opposition, when they indict them at the ACC, they will think this is haunting us. They are doing so and so and so. There's the challenge in the side of the ACC. And even in the government, it's genuine. We have seen people in the government that they have indicted for misappropriating funds. It's challenges because ACC take their time to take those evidence to court to judge those people. So there have been challenges. There have been a lot of challenge, and there have been a lot of progress. So I think those challenges have been addressed by the commission, and the commissioner is very energetic and is ready to fight and to address that challenges. So those challenges are not estimable for the fight against corruption. I know the commissioner will conquer that particular challenge at the end of their 5 years in office.
It's clear. Thank you very much for breaking down into particular for us to understand. Well, viewers, followers, Sierra Leoneans, you are live on the TGM, the Green Movement television broadcast. We are talking about the fight against corruption. And when President Bill took office, corruption index was 41%, and now we are in the 85%, which is a very, very good progress. And that led us to win the MCC scorecard. And every year we are scoring. So that's a good process. But then now, Mr. John, I want you to compare and contrast this video you are about to watch between this regime, this regime, the present regime and the previous regime. Who do you think really is serious in the fight against corruption? But before going further, let's look at the former president, his statement. Former president, Rai Krumah.
The anti-corruption commissioner is given the full mandate to move on wherever the evidence takes him. nobody will be protected, and not even members of my family will be protected.
Black men are together happy for the 8th of October 2020. Now waiting they happy live inside McKinney. Asoko Baneredo ready for display for the chairman and leader, Dr. Anes by Koma, for blessing of this country. Now waiting they happy now live inside McKinney Talk.
Corruption Commission complete independence. That will entail the review of the law to remove the power of prosecution from the Office of the Attorney General to the Anti-Corruption Commission itself. And we are committed to doing that. Now, I have also taken the position that we should send very clear signals that it is independent, and also very clear signals that nobody will be protected, and not even members of my family will be protected. And I've made a commitment to it, and we are going to go on with that. The Anti-Corruption Commissioner is given the full mandate to move on wherever the evidence takes him.
Now, John, you just hear from our former president, Anes Bai Kroma, and also you saw the statement from President Bio. So the question goes to you: compare and contrast any fight against
first of all,
previous and the present government.
When you repeat that video, the video at McKinney, I always feel sad because we as Sierra I think we are the people that this cacao is affecting. We are the people that are suffering in the hands of corrupt authorities. But if I'm seeing the same Sierra Leoneans that we are fighting for, we are also doing this thing for. We are sacrificing ourselves for, because some of our friends now have become enemy to us because they think we are taking the right steps. But we are seeing the same Sierra Leoneans that we are fighting for. We are putting our lives for. We want to see that they succeeded in having development, in having progress in our nation. The same Sierra Leoneans, fighting or protecting not to investigate people that are accused of corruption. I think it's so sad for our nation. And I want to clearly state this, that video was uncalled for, and I always condemn it, and I will continue to condemn it. On that particular day, I condemn it, and I will continue to dissociate myself from that particular video. And I want Sierra Leoneans not to continue those acts, because it's really sad for the fight against corruption. Okay, coming to this government and the past governments, I think President Nkrumah was also very passionate in the fight against corruption. But one way or the other, I don't want to say this. I don't want to be biased in saying this. Perhaps the energy they give to the commission was not too enough for them to work. Perhaps their hands, the open of their hands to the partnership was not so that open up, and their opened up policy was not open, was closed, and perhaps until that commission was. Perhaps that commission was not so so open up to the public to report or to complain corruption, or there were no, because I'm just seeing now that we are seeing more partner coming to partner with the commission. But I think if you want to fight corruption and you want to have the open door policy, because I want to clearly state here that the commission, we don't have magician in the commission. They only got information from their partners or from the Sierra Leoneans, the audience. So I think he was very passionate. The former president was very passionate, and he was very ambitious to see the fight against corruption progress in our nation. But for his own part, he plays his own part. I can applaud him for that, because the prosecution he's talking about, he bring it from the judiciary of Sierra Leone and bring it to the ACC, and that is an applaud one. And he changed a lot of policies that were very good policies. I want to applaud him for that. But during his regime, I want to say here clearly that there were a lot of lapses, which they should have taken care of. If they should have been taking care of those lapses, we should not be seeing those mistakes, those drop in the corruption index. But they were doing very good works if it comes to the fight against corruption. But when I come to President Bio again, I want to continue to applaud President Bio for giving this dynamic man, because this man has been so wise that he brings his lawyer practice, his lawyer practitioners to the fight against corruption. He brings a lot of policies. He brings a lot of changes in the fight against corruption. So I think this both governments, the past, because why I don't want to compare the past and this present government, they were in office in 11 years. So this government is just in the office in 4 years. So I want to judge them at their 5 years ending. I don't want to judge them now. Perhaps they should go to their second term, I don't know. Perhaps they will just be having their 5 years. Then we'll start judging them. But for now, at their 4 years, I want to give an applause that they are really trying the fight against corruption. I want them to continue in these drives, and if they continue so, we'll make a lot of progress as a nation.
Oh, thank you very much, John. Listen, John, Managing Director for Zero Corruption Campaign. I'm so happy to have you here on this platform. Unfortunately, I give you 1 hour, and now I believe we are exceeding 1 hour. So what is your message to Sierra Leone and the government and ACC and civil society organizations that stand to fight against corruption?
I want to thank before going, because this I think we are going now. Before going, I want to thank the Green Movement for giving this platform, because these have been an educative program, and I'll be happy to be coming onto this platform and to talk about corruption, to talk to Sierra Leoneans, and to the government. I think they are doing a lot of progress, but they need to have the open door policy again, because as for other civil society organizations, if you go to most offices to have informations, some people have that closed door policy. They don't want to see us, and I don't know why in this government we have a lot of good people, but sometimes again, if you write them a letter, sometimes we write institutional heads letter that want to sue you, and we have allegation against you before going to the ACC or before ACC coming to investigate you guys. Want to see how we can come to dialogue with you, but sometimes we don't have that open door policy to some institutions. But to the government, I want them to uphold the way they fight in corruption now. I don't want them to diverse, and I want the commissioner to have that energy, see the energy he has to fight corruption, to continue that energy, no matter the time he has been calling for. Even if this government go again into office, they call him to come. I want him to do more than how he's doing now. Yeah, because the commission is ready, and the commissioner is ready to fight corruption. And to my civil society organization partners, or to my civil society organization brothers and sisters, I want us to hold government accountable, not like enemies, but we need to hold them as drivers to the development of this nation. We don't need to bash at governments as an opposition, but we need to give the government their light way. We need to tell the government that this is wrong, this is good. Let's take this drive. Perhaps if they are listening, government, they will listen to us. But if we want to treat them as opposition, I think they will see us from a different angle. And also to the government, you should not see civil society organizations as enemy to you. When you say civil society organizations, they are partners to any development of any nation. Journalists, civil society organizations, they are development partners, because the whole government is accountable on things they think is serious and is good. And I want the government in any way, if they have any way to support civil society organizations, to support them by giving these subventions, funding to do their jobs. That cannot take them away from things they are doing. They will do more so the nation can develop. And I want to come to our local dialects. Many people we're sorry because they can't go now. We will not do this program like Creole. We will talk about the fight against corruption. Like great fight. Ben Kevala said don't try. President Bill said don't try. Former President Nkrumah said he tried during 11 years. But why not you want for compare former President Nkrumah in time and President Bill in time? Because President Bill just in office now 4 years. Now he make all over the place. If President Bill don't go there 5 years, 6 years now, Brown are the area, pass and drive you, then drive you go to the prisons or drive you go to the police. But like I know one for the bash at President Bill now. But during 4 years, we don't see significant progress. People in the office and they indict them. People in the this government and did loyalism at this government, they indict them. It can shock me something. But like let we know they support corrupt politicians because he thinks in a border or he into same political party. It dey make we say we fight for now. We had to die, and we say the things say we are not ready for this change we already cry for. But you know, Kaya for talk about President Bio in 4 years in office in the fight against corruption. I want to say challenge the day. We all know say challenge the day. Nobody know perfect. If you pick it in a house in the thief, you have to take a long time for let tell and see left thief, left farm. You have to take a lot of policies so you could put in place, a lot of challenges. So you know the now with the beat you a thief, with the stab you a thief, with the locking out a thief before the person they change. So now this President Beauty part. And I want to thank him for bring Benkefala for can fight this fight. And I want to say a lot of progress they move. And waiting on more we need as civil society organization and also the commission need for we the Sierra Leoneans them. Let me give the support. Not so like where they indict that person, you begin to strike, na side away not fit for strike, you begin to talk, na side away not fit for talk. So I thank you now all for candidates in this program. And I want to thank the management of the Green Movement for bringing at this platform. And I go happy for doing at this platform anytime when the needs arise. So I thank you now all.
No, thank you very much, St. John. I'm glad the way they are with me. You know, we go plan a very fine, you know, because of time, you know, see, we get also other program we got for Caron, so we got for arrange 1 or 2 things. But I'm so happy where you did on this platform. It has a genuine man. We don't come to sacrifice very hard to make sure we get zero corruption in our country. I know say the fight against corruption, you know, easy because we know say we get Boku IMP, then something Bukia them. Where they say no, then you won't think it's to thief to make sure that we country not go before. So I'm glad the way you said they on ground, we want to fight, when they watch them, when they monitor them. And one of the statements where you make where I really glad on that way you say you don't go on too much do comparison because it's like you want to compare 4-year-old young baby with somebody when an 11-year-old grown person. No, you know, that mean, you know the fact that is the justice not fair. Yeah, you know, 3-month-old baby there with 4, 5,
I don't want to let people take that way. I know they support the government. Perhaps within the 5 years, or if the people of Sierra Leone think say President Bio don't they try in so many of in promises, then get 6 years. That now in second term now, when they come out, when they say, bruh, this side we only make mistake. But begin to jump small ball. Not so I'll be the expensive for day. So, but for say we compare 11 years and 4 years, no. Now small. But there has been a lot of progress. Now that's what I see. Yeah,
that is good. That is good. I'm glad that I get you on this platform, and you always welcome whenever you see say there is some burning issues. Think that way you know say in all right, come on this platform because President Yosef they watch, Fatima they watch, everybody they all they watch. You know this is a platform with a broad and open, and when it comes to reality, we they always did to keep the record straight. So we encourage everybody, whether you know civil service or civil servant or you know whatever. Whether not political or non-political, this platform is open for every Sierra Leoneans. Then you are highly welcome. And I'm glad the way you did on this platform, my brother. I'm really glad the way you did. You know.
Thank you very much.
Continue your good job. What you do. Let God bless you. Let God guide you to make sure you do the rightful things for people in another country. Day. Thank you very much. It was nice to host, having you here. Sierra Leone,
thank you.
So we'll end the program and I will say tata.